Hey fam, what's good? I hope this show well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. Today we're gonna find ourselves looking at this beautiful pair called the NASDAQ. So without wasting no time, let's get into it. So over the course of last week, you know what, we basically said that on this beautiful pair called the DXY, right, which is basically inverse correlated with the NASDAQ, we want to see price at least come back into this beautiful area right over here, this inversion fair value gap, and we can see price literally have kissed this area, and price literally had found itself having a beautiful shift towards the upside, right? So on the DXY, the area which we want to see price basically head back into will basically be these highs right over here, right? Those highs right over there. So with that being said, I am expecting some beautiful bullish momentum on this beautiful pair called the DXY, right? So our first point of interest has been smacked. So the second point of interest I will now have my eye out on for this week onwards will basically be this little fair value gap price I find itself creating right over there, as this fair value gap is lining up within this beautiful order block which we have found ourselves creating right over there, right? So if we can see price have that pullback, I would like to see a pullback back into this area for a potential shift back towards the upside. Okay, for a potential shift back to the upside. So not much to say on the DXY, but you know what, in overall I still do want to see some upside momentum on this beautiful pair called the DXY, right? So let's go over to our pair called the NASI, right? So the NASDAQ has been just, you know what, showing me the middle finger. NASDAQ has just been like, you know what, I'm not coming down as if now, I'm just going up, right? And unfortunately, there's nothing we can find ourselves doing about that, right? That's why I said that at the end of the day, it is super important for you to find yourself, you know what, being reactive with what price is giving you at that current moment. And I think with me being a scalper, it's so much easier for me to find myself being reactive with what price is presenting, right? So Monday Monday and Tuesday we had a W. Wednesday we didn't find ourselves trading. Thursday we took a L, and then on Friday we took another actual W, right? So even though price action is showing what it is showing, we still going to find ourselves doing what we need to find ourselves doing at the end of the day, right? So starting off from our weekly time frame on this beautiful pair called the NASDAQ, right, we can see that price is overly extended towards the upside. So we do need that actual pullback, right? Will that pullback be now? Will it be now? Right, D, we have a huge wick thrown towards the upside over here. D, listen, this is a beautiful shooting star. This is telling me that, you know what, we are coming towards the downside. Fam, listen, this does not mean anything to me. Okay, this does not mean anything to me at this current moment, simply because, right, we aren't tapping within no area of, you know what, resistance, right? What makes a shooting star quite valid is when price is finding itself tapping within an area of resistance, and we have a complete change in structure on a lower time frame. That makes a shooting star valid, right? So as if now, you know what, I'm not looking at this as basically being a shooting star whatsoever. You know what, I'm looking at this as NASDAQ can potentially find itself, you know what, filling up this little gap. We have found, well, filling up the wick we have found ourselves creating over there, and then only have that potential shift back towards the downside, right? That's basically how I'm finding myself looking at the NASDAQ. Okay, and if I can basically get my FIB out from my low to my high, right? From my low to my high, we can't obviously find ourselves grabbing the FIB out just off yet, right? But this is only for if we would find ourselves having that actual pullback, right? Then we can find ourselves getting our FIB out once again. And you know what, in overall, you know what, this will basically be the area we would like to see price come back into, right? Basically, it's just a discounted area. Okay, so weekly time frame, I would actually like to see the NASDAQ fill up this week. We have found ourselves creating over here. It does not need to be like 100% filled, basically saying that we are going to have like a whole push to the upside like that, right? But I just want to see this actual week being full at least more than, you know what, 80% whatsoever. Okay, so scaling to the daily time frame where we can see a little bit more candles, right? And check this out. Structure. what can you guys tell me about structure? Are we still bullish or are we bearish in structure? We are still somewhat bullish in structure. Check this out. Price had an impulse, price had a little correction, and there we had the shift to the upside. And currently we can see some sort of initial pullback, right? Can we see a change in structure just of yet on our daily time frame? No, we cannot see a change in structure on the daily time frame just of yet as well, right? So I still do consider my daily time frame as being bullish in structure, right? So there is still a high possibility for us basically having that shift towards the upside. Okay, and scaling to my H4 time frame, right? H4 time frame on the other side, you know what, we can see that we had some sort of a change in structure. If I can maybe just zoom price out just a little bit, as I'm looking at this as, you know what, the actual impulse we find ourselves creating. Yeah, we had a little bit of a correction. There we had a nice little impulse. And then we have found ourselves having a beautiful shift in structure, right? Changing market structure. Lower low that has been created right over there. Now, one thing that I have in the back of my mind is if price is simply going to find itself having a closure above this area over here, right? This would now be the impulse. This will be the correction. This will basically be the impulse, right? So if price is simply going to have a closure above this region right over there, this will simply mean that we are now finding ourselves having a change in market structure, right? And that right there can basically fuel the shift back towards the upside. Okay, that right there can fuel the shift towards the upside. And that at the end of the day is what I am looking out for, right? I do want to see price still have that actual shift towards the upside before looking for any shorts towards the downside, right? So like I might mention, a deep area will basically be, you know what, back into this fee value gap right over there. And obviously, if we would have a closure above, this simply means that we are filling up the wick 100% on our weekly time frame. Then we can potentially expect a further continuation to the upside, or you know what, price is simply taking out liquidity, and then I will find myself waiting for some sort of a change in market structure so that I can find myself looking for some further downside momentum, right? I do have these relatively equal lows in the back of my head, right, as an actual target if we would have to find ourselves having some sort of a shift back towards the downside, right? But as if now, I'm still expecting price to have that actual push to the upside before having that beautiful shift back down, right? So if I can even get my fib out from that high to the low we have found ourselves creating right over here, I want to see price hit all the way up back into this premium area. And with price basically being inside this premium area, I want to see a change in structure first before I will find myself looking for some shorts, right? It's super important for you to find yourself first wait for that market structure shift. It is long. I do know that. I do know that, you know, you are like, yes, but if we're gonna have the change in market structure, I'm missing out on like 100 pips most probably, or I'm missing out on X amount of pips whatsoever. It's fine, right? Miss out on those pips and just simply find yourself calculating a target to where you would like to see price head into, right? If that target is 100 pips, cool, you will gather your extra 100 pips whatsoever. But what I'm trying to say is don't be greedy, right? Don't be greedy. Don't do what you think that is right. Do what you are seeing the market is doing, right? And that is how you're going to find yourself becoming so much more, you know what, comfortable when it comes down to your trading and more consistent when it comes down to your trading, right? So that right there is my outlook on this beautiful pair called the NASDAQ, right? I still do want to see some upside momentum and then only have that shift back towards the downside. So we can potentially have that over the course of Monday and Tuesday. This is just simply how I look at it, right? So Monday and Tuesday, we can see that beautiful shift towards the upside. Wednesday, we can potentially see that market structure change start to come through, right? And then, you know what, Thursday and Friday, we can just simply find ourselves, you know, moving with market structure, right? which will basically then be towards the downside if we can find ourselves having that beautiful change in market structure. But if not by Wednesday, then you know what, this simply means that there's a higher possibility that we can just see some higher price action at the end of the day. Okay, so that right there is it from me. I hope you all have a blessed week. Please do trade safe, please do use money management, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.